Shall we please appreciate these wonderful vessels? Come on, come on, come on, come on. If you can sing, you know that they have sung. Let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them once again. And appreciate our instrumentalists as well. Praise the Lord. Yeah, I want you to turn to your brother or your sister sitting next to you and welcome him or her once again to a firing session. Once again, tell him or her you are going to be fired up. You are going to be fired up. I know the rice, the banku, the yam and things, but tell him or her, fire the dish, fire the meal out of your belly. Fire it out. Fire it out. Amen. We bless God. How many of us believe that our mandate is a global one? Our mission as believers is a global one. No, I'm talking to youths. I'm talking to you. How many of us believe that we are taking the world by storm? How many of us have received a prophecy that you will be a prophet to the entire nations? How many of us, should I prophesy that you are reaching the nations of the earth? Apostle, these are local champions, so they are not international ministers. Hallelujah. But the mandate we have received is an international ministry. It's a global impact. God does not want us to be localized in our impact. And thank God that in our day and age, He has brought a medium that permits our global impact. Bridging barriers, geographical barriers, boundaries and everything, and making it possible that the impact, what He has dwelt in us, reaches out to the world. And today we are here to, this afternoon, talk about one of the medium God is using and which is available to us to harness and to bless the globe with. And we have a special person in our midst to lead us in this discussion. Mr. Emmanuel Arthur is the CEO and co-founder of Ramses Infotech Solutions Limited, a leading IT infrastructure and managed services company at the forefront of digital transformation, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence innovation. With extensive experience in technology consulting and digital safety, Mr. Arthur has been instrumental in shaping digital literacy programs across West Africa. He has led transformative training initiatives for organizations including the Central Bank of Gambia, Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Ghana Revenue Authority, Multimedia Group, and many others. As a recognized thought leader, Mr. Arthur regularly speaks at industry events on cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, societal impact, digital parenting, multi-screen engagement, IT youth empowerment, and many others. On his academic journey, Mr. Arthur's educational foundation reflects his multidisciplinary approach to technology and youth development. He earned his bachelor's degree before pursuing a multiple master's degree that shaped his strategic understanding of digital impact. But he has so many degrees that he's about to boil right now in this place. And recognizing the legal complexities of the digital age, he further enriched his expertise with an LLB in law, positioning himself as at the unique intersection of technology, education, and legal framework. His mission is simple. It is to empower young people to harness the tremendous opportunity of social media and AI technologies while building resilience against their potential dangers in an increasingly connected world. Church of God, with a standing ovation and a clap offering, we want to receive the ministry. Oh, come on, let's do it unto God, unto God, unto God. Mr. Emmanuel Arthur.
Okay, we can sit down. Hallelujah. I guess you can hear me. Can you hear me, please? Okay. Can I go? Okay, so I'll go on. So when the slide can we continue? All right. So okay, so let's go on. We are talking about social media and its impact in our lives. And for us, anybody sitting here is using any of the platforms, either you're on Facebook or Twitter, or you are on Facebook or TikTok, or any other platforms. The question that bothers our mind is that what are the risks associated with using those technologies? And for us today, we will use about 45 minutes of the time here to discuss very critical issues when it comes to the social media, its benefits, and the struggles. Okay. Now let me start by saying that the world is changing. Okay, and the change the world is experiencing is considered to be exponential. Exponential in the sense that it is very fast because it is actually enhanced and controlled by technology. And if you were born in the 1980s or 1970s or 1960s, you realize that the world has changed in a very massive way. So many things has happened in our world. And part of the reason is because so help me. You can change for me. Let's go. So you change. Change. Go. Please go. Change. Keep changing. Okay. Okay, so here. So let's assume that as I stand here, I want to take 30 steps from where I'm standing to forward. As a human being, I will use what I call the linear steps. Okay, so I say 1, I go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And another person stand here and actually make the same steps, but he uses what we call exponential steps. By the time I count 30 steps by using linear step, I'll get to the back maybe of the door. That person on the other side would have accomplished all this. Can we go to the next slide? So that person can go to the moon and get back to the earth. Keep tapping. And then circle the earth 8 times over. Next slide. If the person doesn't want to go to the moon, he can circle the earth 26 times. Keep changing. Okay. All right. Wait. So as human beings, our wiring is to have a very slow changes in our life, which are predictable. Technology actually changes at the speed of light. And I want to talk about a few of the things that is happening in our world today. So let's go to the next slide. Next slide. Next slide. So this is a company called Cisco. I want a sound. And Cisco has this architecture. If you are in IT, you know a company called Cisco that built our network infrastructure across. What this guy is doing is actually buying a dress, but in the mirror here, allow her image in there to wear the dress without wearing it on her body. Okay? And you can change the color of the dress. You don't need to wear it on your body. Your image in there is allowed to wear it as part of the system.
This is great. Flip.
And so that's what Cisco has done. And it's a bit
Where do I sign? I just did.
Next slide. Let the sound come there a bit. Now, another particular architecture, what we call the home automation, is it's a schedule that will allow you, for example, to drive from your house, and as you are going to work, if you realize that your gas cylinder, for example, in your house was not put off, sometimes you forget that I have to put something off my house. As you are driving, you say, no, my gas cylinder may be on. What do you do normally? You have to now drive back to your house or call somebody to do that for you. As we move into the future, you don't need to do that. You can go to your device, whether your phone or your tablet, like this one, and as you get into your house, you can open your door on your device. You go to your kitchen, and if it's on, you can put it off remotely, and you drive to work. You don't want to come back home. Next slide. You remember this TV, right? This is a TV we used to watch in the 80s and 90s. And next slide. This is how I remember we used to watch in my grandfather's living room. And for you to qualify to watch TV, you have to take your bath and be decent. We moved from here to what we call the colored TV, the VCR, the DVDs, and then we have the smart TV. Today, we've been able to marry our digital world to our physical. What have we done today? If I'm watching a movie on a computer like this, I can virtually put it and run it on the wall, and we all watch it. You don't need to pick up a projector or something to watch it. It's part of the thing that happened in our world. Let's go to the next slide. Technology is bigger than social media. And these are some of the things I want to discuss with you. So there are so many people in the world, about 500 million people in the world, who can either speak with their tongue, or see with their eyes, or hear with their ears. A lot of people. In the year 2015, next slide, these two guys actually invented this architecture. And what you see here is a simple vest that you can see this young guy wearing. The vest is the one wearing them. But underneath the vest is what we call vibration motors. So when you speak to this gentleman who cannot hear with his ears, the sound of your voice will hit his vest and it will vibrate his skin. The meaning of what you are saying will jump to him. What it means that a deaf person can listen to you through his skin. It's a very amazing technology, but it's not miracle, because we have had this technology in the 60s where we invented what we call the braille. Like when somebody cannot actually see with his eyes, you can still allow him to pass his hand on a braille and he can read, something like that. Now, what this guy did also is that, next slide, the architecture allows you, for example, to now help somebody who is medically blind to be able to see, because they place this architecture on the iris, which is able to help this guy to know that it's white, and this face is the same as this face, is different from this face, and all of that. Technically, a blind person can see by just instrumentation of this architecture placed on the eye. Next slide. Next slide, sorry. Slide. Go on, please. Now, the amazing part is this architecture. It's called Sign Aloud. And if you have watched our television, when they are doing the newscast, you see that somebody will be doing the sign language, okay? And then you don't understand. You don't need it because your ears can hear what they are saying. This architect help that person to be able to speak to us for us to understand him. This gloves, as you use it, translate the sign language into audible English language, for example, so that anybody can hear what they are talking about. Next slide. And hold on, don't change it. No, come back, please. And then go to the next slide. Then hold on. Next slide. Hold it. Okay. So, these guys the sound is not coming.
Name is Thomas.
So
and this is
the gloves that this guy is wearing translate.
We are inventors in the Lemelson MIT student prize competition.
Next slide. What is happening is that this is allowing people who cannot even speak with their tongue able to talk to us in a very creative way. We talk about AI, and AI is not automation. Okay, that's not the reason I came. AI is not automation. And this fridge you see here is able to order for the things you need in your house. You don't need to call the supermarket. It can order and say, we need milk, we need sugar. It's the fridge that do the ordering because the fridge is intelligent enough to do that. The various architecture we are building into the future allow your car to be intelligent enough that as you sit here, if your car is out there and your daughter is not feeling well at home, the car is intelligent enough to drive itself and rush the house and pick your daughter to the hospital. You don't need to control the car. If you are wearing a wristwatch, which is a smartwatch, the wrist will be able to gauge your heart and be able to predict that in the next 20 minutes your heart may have issues. The watch will call the ambulance without even informing you what is happening to you. This is what we call intelligence machines are being created with. Let's go to the next slide. Let me skip this one. Let's go. So this is where the big deal is. Technology is a big deal because the internet is something that you cannot do without today. I can't imagine a bank today that will not allow people to go through what we call the network process, go and draw money from Carnation and go to another place and withdraw money. That will not work. So internet cyberspace is a big deal in our generation. You can't survive without it today. Let's go to the next slide. Now, so it's a big deal because, next slide. If I use an example like today, people want to use Wi-Fi. And if I use the Maslow's theory of needs, the most important need of humanity today is the basic one, which is Wi-Fi, before we come to the physiological needs. People didn't get a joke. Okay, next slide. How many times have you opened your phone today, for example? How many times have you opened your phone? Next slide. Average, you are opening your phone 221 times every day, checking your phones. Next slide. Next slide. Now, let's go about the popes. Next slide. So in 2005, Pope John Paul died. Pope Benedict was installed as the next pope. And during the coronation, this is how the place looked like. If you look at the picture closely, you see that there's somebody having one Motorola. Very funny one down there. 8 years, he resigned. And next slide, Pope Francis came. And then Pope Francis came, his coronation, next slide, was like this. The same St. Peter's Square had one Pope 8 years, and then 8 years down the line, everybody was holding a device and capturing the moment. I'll come and talk about why I'm using this slide. Let's go to the next slide. So these are the 10. 25, only one device there, 2 devices here. 2013, everybody was capturing the moment with their device. And I'll come and talk about the psyche and the way that people are doing that today. So before I go to my most important, let me talk about a concept that has been developed by the big boys in the industry called the global Wi-Fi. What does it mean? There are a group of people in this world who are saying that they don't understand why people should pay money to access the internet. That internet should be free. And the prominent one is the Microsoft, Google, and then Elon Musk. They are saying that there should be a time in our lives you pick your device and you don't need to buy data. And how are you going to do it? Next slide. So It's going to be a world that everybody, anywhere in the world, whatever you want, it has light or whatever, you can access the internet for free. Very aggressive stuff that are happening. Next slide. Next slide. Now, so Google had this project called a Project Loon, and it's a hot air balloon. It's a satellite hot air balloon. Next slide. That will fly above your head like this. Next slide. And actually give you an access point so that everywhere you are, the balloons actually give you access to the internet for free. You don't need to buy MTN or Vodafone to get access to the internet. Next slide. And any community that doesn't have internet, this hot air balloon now broadcasts the architecture for you. Next slide. Now, you know this guy, right? Okay. So in 2019, he wrote to the American government that he wanted to install 4,425 satellites in outer space. Next slide. And this is how he wanted to cloud our outer space with a lot of satellites. He was asked, why do you want to do this? He said, I want to give free and cheaper internet to the world. It will give us an impression. Next slide. So it's a burden to all of us that all this technology we are talking about, what are the most critical burdens it will have on us as young people? Next slide. We can't do, our lives cannot be normal life. It cannot be the copy and paste style where what your father did, you did the same thing. It's different world today. Okay. Now, let's talk about something in 5 minutes. Go on. So in 2012, a company called Facebook actually acquired this company called Instagram. We use the old logo because that's the logo at the time for $1 billion. At the time they acquired this company, they said, let me speak to that. Okay. Acquired this company. Instagram had only 14 staff, 14 people working for that company. 14. The same year, 2012, Facebook again got another company. Next slide. They bought this company called WhatsApp for $19 billion. And the time they bought this company, WhatsApp had only 55 people working for it. Now, it's a company to hold that money as a net worth of $19 billion must have a lot of people working for it. But in this story, they were having only 55 people. This money is far, far more than most of the banks put together in Ghana. But only 55 people were working for it. Next slide. Now, a company called Kodak, established in the year 1895, our great-grandfather's company, also collapsed, went bankrupt the year 2012, the same year, with a negative net worth of $1 billion, but had 555,000 people working for the company. What I tell you, companies that are employing more human beings, they are dying. Those that are actually employing AI and automation, they are those who are, this is what the data studied us. Next slide. So young people are coming from school, and by the time they come back from school, the things they have been trained to do, the robots are doing the same thing. They will not be needed as we go into the future. Next slide. That is the concept I call the race against a machine. Andrew McAfee wrote a book on that, and I think we have to look for that book. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay, now move. Let's move so I can go to where I want to talk. Just go. Okay, so my prediction is that in the next 20 years, hold on here, 2 out of 3 career paths, a young person who is about 10 or 5 years old will want to pursue will not exist by the time they get there. As we move to the future. Next slide. The other thing, for example, in Ghana here, we have close to 12,000 road crashes every year in Ghana. Averagely, we have over 1,200 to 1,500 people dying on our roads every year. What it means that every 24 hours, an average of 6 people die in Ghana by road accident. So let's look at something. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide. So Google has a program with Waymo, another company, and built this one called Google Autonomous Vehicle. And this car does not allow a human being to drive it. It's actually driven by the code. It has the machine learning algorithm embedded. It has a GPS system available here. The one called a V2V and V2R. Go to the next slide. As BBC reports, this car talk to each other and they don't crash. As we move it, we will not need drivers. We have to pick them out and allow the cars to drive themselves. And it means that if you take a country like America, which has about 2 million drivers, all of them will go home and go and play computer games. They are not going to be available. So this is how that thing works. Let's go to the next slide. So you sit in a car, next slide, sorry, and the car will drive you. That's Waymo's product. Okay. Next one is, next slide. So you go to a place like South Korea, where you have for shopping experience, you take your phone and be snapping the things in the shop you want. I want Milo, I want milk, I want this and la. And then you walk out of the shop. You don't meet any cashier. You walk out, and then everything. By the time you get to your car, everything is packed and packaged by your car. You pick it away and go away. You don't need to. Okay. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. So it's exciting. It's exciting that technology is going to solve so many problems for us. But I'm here to talk about something very critical. For example, a young lady in America had a tissue in her breast. Okay, they removed a tissue from her breast and they matched it with several tissue of people who have potential and they have breast cancer. And then they analyze it by what we call the predictive technology to be able to determine that in the next 20 years, she will have breast cancer. She was just 21 years. So by the time she's 41, the prediction she will have breast cancer. So they'll be able to solve the problem before she gets there. And that's the power of big data. All right? It's good, it's great, but there are risks. There is a warfare we are all engaging called the cyber warfare. And this is a war that we are not fighting with bullets and bombs, but we are fighting with bait and bite. And unfortunately, next slide, all of us are a target. So let me come back home and talk about you. So cybersecurity is key. And sometimes people believe that for them, they don't care. They get their phones and they use it any way they want. You have social media platforms like WhatsApp, and you can use it to do whatever you want to do. And as much as I want you to use it because it has a lot of benefits, I want you to be very cautious. All right? So let me take a concept called sexting. How many of us have heard the word sexting before? Have you heard the word sexting? Anybody here? Oh, this guy. You don't want to relate with me, right? Anybody hear the word sexting? Okay. So sexting is from two words. Sex and test. And what does it mean? What it means is that you are communicating with your nudity or something like that. Okay? So I remember there was some years back we had this woman that will go naked on Skype. Okay, so you open the Skype video, go naked, and the husband was in the United States or so. The man also will go naked, and then they come, and they have what they call the Skype sex, those times. And when the issue came up, we were discussing, I said, oh, but it's my husband. I said, no, it's not a problem that it's your husband, but you didn't understand that these things you are using have consequence. So sexting is, I want to go naked and allow these cameras to touch my body, something like that. Okay? I know somebody will say, we were chatting with the boyfriend will ask, can I be naughty a bit? The girl go naked, go open his dress, and then take a picture of her breast and send to the gentleman. Okay, I know you don't do those things, right? You don't do it, right? Okay. Okay, but it's dangerous. If you are doing this stuff, it's dangerous. The reason is this. Anytime the camera, can I have my phone? I want to hold my phone. Okay. Thank you, Osofo. Okay. So anytime this device, okay, you take any picture with this device, I'll give it for free. And then it comes here. You can't remove the picture. Are you aware? Like, for example, you take a picture, and it saves on this drive. This one is not a physical drive. It's not your old classroom blackboard with chalk that when you write, you can go and erase. It's a digital drive. The architecture does not allow anything placed here to be removed. So that concept of, Abena, what delete is just a joke. It's just a joke. That's number one. It's a joke because data can only be taken off from the drive by two main ways. You can destroy the data or you can overwrite it. Let me take my time and explain to you. When you say destroy the data, you can actually shred the data on your drive or make it scrambled so that anybody who intercepts it cannot even know what is it. That's number one. Number two is that you can actually fill your drive to become full. So anytime you have a drive, there's a space on your drive, and you have deleted things. What you have basically done is to remove the identity of the picture. Technically speaking, or in the layman's language, we are saying that what makes physical eyes see the picture is what you have covered. That's what we call the delete. It's there. It's there. So all the things you have deleted from your phone, if we take your phone and run a forensics tooth on them, we can recover everything back. They are here. They've not gone anywhere. Now, number two, when you send anything on a digital platform, we have the exchange server, right? So when I'm making a call, the call goes to the exchange, go to the one of boxes, what we call the MSCBS architecture, and it actually routes to you. So if I'm making a call, I'm not actually requesting from your phone. I request from the exchange take it and look for your number and connect me to you. That's how telecom works. And it's the same thing with something like WhatsApp. So when you send WhatsApp and say hello to a friend, and it take one, what does it mean? What does it mean? It's sent, right? To where? No, it's not going to the person. Sorry. To the cloud or to the server. So what it has done is that the picture goes to the exchange picks it, and then they do what they call replication. It's replicated in our normal language, we say photocopy, right? That's photocopy of the picture and send it to the person. So the original pictures you have sent actually sits on a WhatsApp service. Everything you have sent in your life, there's a copy sitting. Okay. Let's take it. Okay. So let's assume that I'm not telling you the truth. So let's assume that. What happens is this. Let me bring your mind to something. Have you wondered why WhatsApp gives you all the access to their platform? You use WhatsApp for free. You don't pay a dime for that service. Are you aware? It's free. And who are you to WhatsApp? Are you a customer or a subscriber? Who are you? You are not a subscriber. You are not paying for it. You are a product they are selling. I know you don't like it, but you want something free. That's how it is. You are a product they are selling because they have to be able to know, like we do. And the question is that if they are not charging you for the money, what's up even doing adverts? How do they get money to fund that multi-billion industry company that give you access to enjoy it? Very good product. How do they do it? I think a company like YouTube, 2 years ago, their financial budget said that they spent $12 billion buying the service. You know, go to YouTube, what you are laughing. Hey, you are laughing. Somebody spending $12 billion every year buying the service, only the service, not the technical team, not the power, service alone. $12 billion. You are joined for free. How did they pay it? How many was 12? So if you look at the license agreement, what we call the terms and conditions, that you call it, they said that they will use your data without your consent. They told you. And he said you have agreed. Is that not, you remember, right? Uh-huh. Next slide. Hey, I have 11 minutes. Interested. Next slide. Okay, let's go. Next slide. Another risk you can actually face is what we call sextortion. And what is it? Sextortion is, there are cyber criminal groups that are making billions of dollars by actually attacking you. And how they attack you? And I know when we talk about attack, people say, oh, they've hacked my WhatsApp, they've taken my data, but there are very serious things that happen in the space than that. Okay? So that's like an example that you have this young man had a problem. Every morning when he wake up, he will open his laptop. Instead of morning devotion, he go to porn site and start watching pornography. Okay? And he will not just watch, but as he watched the thing to a point, he just stand up and start masturbating in front of the camera. There's a malware called RAT, Remote Access Trojan. And the way I can share it is to write the virus and put it under a picture and send to you. That look at this picture, or maybe I can say Emirates is sharing some free ticket to Dubai with your partner. You see that thing, eh? Okay. So the virus sits under that link. It says click on this link and then fill the form. And when you click, the virus is installed. Okay, so if it's installed, because it's a rat, I can sit anywhere. Once your phone is connected to the internet, I can control this phone. I can tell it to open the camera. I can tell it to take a picture of you. I can tell it to record what you are saying. So many things can happen. Once the virus sits here, too many things can happen. Unknown to this gentleman who was actually masturbating in front of his camera, the guy has actually turned on the webcam and activated the speakers, the microphone. And he was just doing that. So he was sent a copy, and then they told him that you pay $5,000 or we publish it. And it was a lot of pictures of him masturbating, and he has been captured. It was difficult for the gentleman. And for me, if you are not anybody, it's not a challenge, but if you are a church elder and you are a victim, I don't know how you're going to manage it. That they will then tell you that we are going to publish it to all your friends in your church. But if you don't want us to publish it, then help us to maybe attack your company or something. They have all demands they have. All right? And that's part of the things you have to actually take care of. That's why I'm saying that be careful what you do with your devices and what the things you do. Let's go next slide. The other thing, like all of us on social media, interesting, we don't fall in love us in church, but we fall in love on social media, unfortunately. And the risks are there. So let's cover some of the risks. So when you move, please wait for it the video to run. Go to the next slide and wait for it to run. Go to the next slide. Okay, go. See if you can play this video. You can play it. Okay. So this young lady.
Hi Zach. Here's another video from my special guy. I can't believe we haven't talked all day. I wish you went to my school or lived closer.
Okay. So this young lady, it's a story that we harvested at Accra University, I think a couple of years back. She met somebody online. They became friends. Okay, and the guy actually requested that he takes a picture for him. Like what if you So look at the picture of the guy he's talking with, okay? But behind is another person who is not, so the guy is actually using a fake profile to harvest the guy. And the lady go online and share the pictures. This guy come back to harvest for more, okay? And said, get on the cam and give me more naked pictures or whatever. At this point, the girl was getting a bit worried. What's happening here? And then, and it's a Ghana story, okay? So then the guy showed him all the other ones you have given him, and I said, if you don't give me more, I will share this one on social media. Apparently, the story at Accra University at the time, the father of the young lady was a pastor. Okay, so the young lady couldn't resist the temptation of continue doing that thing, okay? Oh, the sound is gone now. So now you are captive, and then they are asking for more videos and stuff. And why are they asking for this? And I people don't know. Okay? Why are they asking for these pictures? So the young lady goes there, and if you look at this video closely, I'm going to show you something. So you see that a lot of folders, okay? And has different, next slide, different young people that they are targeting and harvesting. And the question, why are they doing that? Next slide. Now, the reason is this. The internet has a lot of things you can sell. One of the most expensive commodity online today is the naked picture of young girls and women. Are you aware? And when you go to a dark web, it is sold there for millions. And people are using this platform to harvest more of those pictures. And some people are innocent in the church, lifting holy hands, but their pictures are being sold and traded at the dark web. And that's one of the critical steps we have to look at. Let's go next slide. You go until I tell you to stop. Okay, hold on here. Let's go to another video. So this is also a Ghana story that we have captured.
I couldn't wait to meet up with Jack.
This
We'd
guy
become good
plays
mates
what we call a
immediately.
multi-user game. Okay? And he met somebody online. And they became friends. And one day the guy actually invited this young man to come to his house so they can play in a local football club. And then he took his bicycle and went without telling the parents and trying to go see that man. This story happened in Accra. I will share with you the name of the man who did. So that the young man goes to the house of his friend, that's online. And then he met this guy. And this guy said, the young man you have been playing is my younger brother. Come and sit here and then wait for him. He went in there. And in a total stranger's house. And if I tell the story that happening in Ghana, you'll be shocked. I have a lot of projects we do with national cyber security, UNICEF, and the stories are frightening sometimes. So they gave him beer, so he drank it. Okay, so apparently this guy is a pedophile. And what he does is that he actually used fake profile to harvest young boys and abuse them. And the person who was doing this in Ghana was in the Western region. There was a doctor called Dr. Garba, who was a medical doctor, senior medical, who was doing some of these things. You get it? It's very frightening. And so he uses his voice, harvests this young man, and abuse him aggressively. And if you're a parent, you have to be a big careful. I do a session on child online protection for parents and caregivers. But I want to just talk to young people here that it's some of the things you have to be very careful of. It's happening here in Ghana. These are not white people stuff. Now, abuse this young guy and then threw him out like a piece of rock. Next slide. So you can see your 13-year-old daughter will meet somebody online. This guy with a 45-year-old pedophile. Or next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. So let me end here. The reason why I think that these are critical, and I think, well, time is very limited. I want to touch on so many things I can't touch on it. But let me just end here. This logo stands, which logo is this one? Oh, okay. Okay. So Snapchat came to give us a promise when they came earlier, because now they are not in the market again. They are not doing well as TikTok has come to take the market from them. But when they came in to take over from other platforms that we used to have there, like Instagram and co, they said that if you want to do sexting or want to play with your nudity online, they will protect you. And how are they going to do that? So what they will do is that when you snap with somebody with your naked picture, the person can watch, I think, for 10 seconds, and then it will disappear. I know whether you are using these features. So I will just snap you for 10 seconds. It's at 10, 9, 8. And when it gets to 0, the picture will disappear. It will not save on the phone. It will not save on your drive. That is why the logo is a ghost. The architecture was actually built to make sure that data can be as hidden as a ghost. You can see it, but you can't actually harvest it. When that feature was launched, 1 month after, somebody was able to crack into this and was able to know that there are loopholes behind that we can still harvest the pictures without the Snapchat knowing that somebody has harvested the picture. Technology is very powerful, but it has a lot of deficiencies. And let me end by saying this. So if you are using a phone like Android device, okay, your base operating system is called Android. Android was made up of 15 million lines of code. My time is up, so let me share the story with you. Now, for 15 million lines of code, we are saying that every 25,000 lines of code you read, there is a bug or there's an error. And cyber criminals don't need a lot of errors to be able to effect attack. What they need is just one error. And so the phone that you are using and enjoying, somebody might have actually identified some error somewhere that is exploiting to get into your phone. And that's why you have to be a bit careful about the way you use your phone. So we'll talk about other things at the Q&A session. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon.
Please, let's appreciate Mr. Arthur for this session. Oh, come on, let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him once again. How many of us feel scared already? You are scared. Ask your neighbor, are we safe? Yeah, I wish I can have the Holy Ghost X-ray now and scan everybody's phone and see what will be popping up since the past 5 years, the kind of pictures we have saved and all of that. But there is hope. There is hope. We are getting to a section where we want to make it more interactive. So if you are joining us on any of the social media platforms, don't worry, this one is safe. You can send your questions and Mr. Arthur will do as the honors of answering them. We will also be coming to you for your questions, and to help us lead or moderate this session, let's receive our sister from South Africa, Miss Refilo Caroline Lebago. Oh, please, let's receive her. Let's receive her with a clap of her. She will moderate this session for us, ask some questions to our speaker, and then later on receive questions also from the audience. Mrs. Lebago, Weasel, you don't understand.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise God. Hallelujah.
Hello.
My name is Refilwe Lebago. I am from the Republic of South Africa. What an honor it is to sit with you, Elder Arthur, and listen to this presentation. I think that this is something that a lot of us run away from because we are scared that the youth are going to perceive us as people who are trying to keep them away from nice things. I am going to be coordinating this session, and then we will have a few questions that I will be asking you, and then we can just have a discussion about it. But that was such a powerful presentation, I may say. We are a generation of young people that are heavily reliant on technology and social media. And we have seen that in the beginning, that even a small glitch can cause an important moment to be interrupted. So what can you say about the challenges that we may face now and in the future as we rely this heavily on tech, specifically as the church and young people in the church?
All right, so thank you very much for the question. I think partially I've been able to address the question you've asked, but let me actually, because I didn't have opportunity to work with it the way I wanted. Technology is very important, it's very great for all of us. That's number one. Number two, technology is not bad and it's not good. Okay? Technology is a neutral weapon. It's like a knife in the hand of a surgeon he will use it to save lives. When you put the same knife in the hand of an armed robber, he will use it to destroy lives. So it's not a knife itself, it is who is holding the knife. Okay. So I don't think we should be scared. What I was trying to do is to actually bring your mind to the important role technology is playing for us, one, and two, how you can take care of yourself because of the nature of technology. So let me give you an example. You have a situation where in the year 2012, thereabouts, WhatsApp gave us a tool that we should chat with our friends. And there's a security program, security floor called Man in the Middle. Like, so when I'm sending a message to her, somebody can stand between the two of us and intercept the message, okay, and modify it. What do you call the Man in the Middle attack? WhatsApp gave us that we are interrupting, but there was no protection, okay? Until one day, one lady I met in Dansoman said that the boyfriend was able to intercept his chat and then able to see whatever he was chatting with his friends with. Now, as we continue to complain, WhatsApp then came and did what we call the end-to-end encryption. Remember that thing that you see, that end-to-end encryption? The question is, what is it about? What is it? So what that thing does is that it actually helps you that when in a moment your message leaves your phone in transit, it's scrambled or it's locked in a pipe that nobody can intercept. If you have somebody intercept it, you can't use the data. And when it gets to your phone, the key is with your phone, the key will open. The question then is that, why didn't they do this and all this while? Because security is always an afterthought. That's why I tell people that once you are using technology, be conscious a bit about it, because those who created the tools may not even be aware of the security implications that will come with it. That's about it. So learn how to use it very well, especially the AI tools that are coming up, but also look at how you can safeguard yourself whilst you are using those tools. So that's what I want to say for them.
Oh, thank you so much for such an insightful answer. To our global family that is watching us online, please do leave us some questions on our Facebook page. Elder Arthur will be answering those questions for us. But what are some of the red flags that you have seen happening amongst the youth to show that they are addicted to social media, because they don't like to agree to that?
Okay, I want to talk about addiction. You know, social media is a very interesting place. I don't know whether you heard about this concept called the Zuckerberg business model. But Mark Zuckerberg brought a business model. You know, when Facebook started, when you put a picture on your timeline, everybody who is following you will see it. It was automatic. Then they realized that no, if we do that, the company will collapse. But because people will come there and see very boring things. So they brought a tool that says that if you bring anything that is boring, you have to be punished. And if you bring anything that's exciting, you have to reward them. The question is, how are they going to do it? Okay? It's very simple. So whenever you put anything on Facebook, for example, it actually gives it to, and that's the same model TikTok is using. It actually shows it to 10% of your followers. And the algorithm then actually gauges their response to your picture or your content, whether they are liking it, whether they are commenting on it, whether they are sharing. And when they see most of the 10% activity on your content, the algorithm then assumes that it's a good content. Then they start making it available to many people, including those who are not your friends. That's how things go viral. You get it? Now, if you put it there and it's so exciting, what it does, the algorithm start hiding it. So nobody sees it. So I remember I spoke to one apostle, and we're talking about digital evangelism. And then I was explaining, he said, I'm very sad. I went to Kane University, and then I did a preach, and they put my message on Facebook. And then one young lady came to also sing, and they put the music also on Facebook. And then when I went to check, the young lady had about 300,000 likes, and for my message, preaching the word of God, nobody has liked my message. And the man was sad. And I said, it's a very normal, because the people that are following you are not celebrating the content. So how does it happen? So give me 1 minute. Let me clarify something. Now, so how does it influence us? Every human being here wants validation. And so social media companies employ behavior scientists to make sure that you get addicted to the platform because you have to stay there longer. The longer you stay there, the more money they make. Why? Because the more data we have about you, we're able to analyze it and sell that data to Mercedes-Benz and Coca-Cola, and they're able to predict how you behave. Let me give you an example. As you sit here, you can potentially make $1 million in the next 2 years in your bank account. The question is that when you make that money, what kind of cars do you want to buy? You sit here, you don't even know. You don't even know whether when I get $1 million, I'll buy Mercedes-Benz or whatever. But the algorithm must be able to now look at all your experience on social media and can be able to get the data to predict it. That this guy will buy Mercedes-Benz if he has $1 million in the account. He can buy this car. And that is what we call a predictive technology. You understand? And so it is a very powerful battle we are going through, that they are using everybody on the social media, intentionally making you addicted. And that's the concept. So you have to be able to balance it yourself.
Okay, so speaking to the issue of search optimized engine, and particularly the issue of sexting that you mentioned here, I do think that it may be prompted by adverts that are optimized. As young people in the church, and maybe even as leaders of young people in the church, how do we now filter the ungodly content without trying to cut ourselves completely out of all the social media platforms?
All right. Okay. So, am I answering your questions well?
You are.
I don't know whether I'm deviating from your question. So I think when it comes to all the things about social media actually display to you, if you're 18 years and above, it can potentially actually let you see anything that they want you to see, okay? They want to market anything, because I've told you that you are not a customer to them, you are just a product. So they can show you anything you have maybe sort of stressful. But they'll be able to build an activity log with you as the things you go to like, the things that you comment on, the things that you actually share, actually give the algorithm an impression that these are the things that will excite you. So if you're a child of God and when you see somebody twerking on social media, go and like and comment, with time, your time will be flooded with the things that you have been engaging with, because the algorithm wants you to stay and doesn't want to give you things that you'll not be happy with. So the things you do is what actually simulated and then actually build a module that can bring you the content that will make you stay. We want you to stay. We don't want to go. So if you tell them that is what you want, they will bring it to you. That's about it.
So if you're seeing things that are not pleasant on your timeline,
it means
it's your fault.
You went for it.
I think a lot of people will be curious that can creating like Christian content on social media be sort of like considered as like a ministry? I mean, is it possible that we can take this and make it a career from just social media content, but without compromising the message, and specifically the message about the cross? And if that's possible, how can they discern now God's calling for them in digital platforms?
Okay, so I don't know whether my microphone is working properly. Can you hear me? Good. So I did an experiment. I used to do a session for churches on digital evangelism. Okay, so I used to have a session with them about how we can expose ourselves to how we can use technology to, and then I made this example that whenever you go online and it said that who is Jesus Christ on Google at the time. Now we are not using Google much because of AI, but those times when you go and say who is Jesus Christ, do you know who come and answer that question? If you look at the aggregation that Google would do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of them will be answers given by atheists about who they think Jesus is. And then the closest you can get by a church coming to respond is a church called the Church of Latter-day, the Jesus of Latter-day Saints. You know that church? Very active on social internet. So, and you sit in Ghana, you actually go to and ask a simple question: who is Jesus Christ? And there's no church in Ghana that has the answer. The question is that, what are we? Because the ministry of Jesus Christ, we are not doing it online. That's my conclusion. Because the more data, the more actively you understand how the algorithm works, the more you can have the data being seen by other people when they search for those keywords. You get it? And AI has come. Africa is not doing anything about it. We are not really building any agents, nothing. We are just sitting down and just going to ChatGPT and just typing things. Very complex things that are happening. And I think that the church should be able to look at more technical things that will help them influence society by technology. That's what I think we can look at. But if we sit and complain, people are they are putting the data on. And that's the data young people are consuming. If you are not creating some which are more creative, nobody will consume it. I have always seen that sometimes we what church is doing that we actually listen to the whole sermon. Okay? They copy it and then dump it there. One pastor standing there and talking. And young people are tired. They don't want to listen to that man. You get it? But that same message can be crafted into 2-minute drama, can be crafted into arts, can be crafted into, because everybody wants to consume data, but they don't want to consume it the way you want to consume it. I don't want to be consumed data by the way I'm talking to you. Somebody want to actually watch a short video. Do you know something? Let me say this. There is something that, when you go to these short videos that are done on YouTube, the guys will come and do short video like 30 seconds, 1 minute. We have the guys, we call them the YouTubers, who does videos on YouTube, and you do that, give them money. You know those guys, you know that, right? What we call the AdSense. In the year 2018, the person who got the highest money had $18 million from YouTube for just creating content and putting it there. And what was he doing? He was just creating very short videos of less than 30 seconds, sometimes 1 minute, sometimes not more than 3 minutes. And most of the videos that people are watching most are the videos that are not exceeding 3 minutes. This is what you have to understand. All right? Otherwise, when you go and put 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour video, then nobody is going to watch it. So the creativity to create content that can be consumed by young people is what the church has not done. Although that's not the reason I came, but that's what the church has not done really, really well with that. So people are creating a lot of content that are rubbish, but when people are bored, they want to consume content. But they can actually consume very spiritual content in a very creative way. And that's how we have to do, all right?
Okay, interesting stuff. So there may be in the house, or maybe young people watching us online, that may be tempted to think that the idea of a nuclear family or husbands and wives are no longer necessary because of what is happening, particularly speaking to the discovery of robots and what robots can do. What do you have to say about that?
Pick the last part, let me get it.
The fact that young people may think that having a spouse is no longer necessary because the robots can now give birth, houses can now be turned into tech houses that can do everything. Maybe a guy will now think, I don't need a wife to cook for me anymore. So yeah, what do you have to say about that?
This one I think is for Osafo to answer this question. But I think that marriage is bigger and higher than somebody cooking for you and somebody cleaning your house. It's bigger than that. So marriage is very spiritual. And so I can't imagine a Christian that said I have substitution for marriage in technology. I don't think that would be possible. Okay, from where I sit, maybe because I'm also a Christian, it doesn't fly for me that technology will replace the institution of marriage. It can't. It can't.
Okay. Do you believe that technology may cause some young people, especially those who are not yet very rooted in their faith, maybe have just recently found God, to become atheists because of how much discovery is happening in terms of tech?
Okay. All right. So I took a data. Okay. So we studied the data from 1948 down to the year 2000. And we had Christian population in the world, about 82% of the world population were professing to be Christians. Down 30 years down, we didn't have anybody who can say he's an atheist. So they were about 0 to 0% or so. Now, atheist community has increased to 9% now. Those who profess they don't believe in God. From 1968 to the year 2000 has increased to 9%. Islam at the time was around the 20-something percent. They also had increased. So Christianity then dropped from 8-something, it's around 51% thereabouts globally. So there is a lot of contention. More people are becoming non-affiliates. And I don't know whether the social media make it so or technology make it so. More people are becoming like, we don't believe in God. It's becoming popular in this day because it is easy for you to then propagate those things online for you to reach as many people as possible to actually change the way they think than it was in because those times missionary has to go to some place to go and talk and all of that. But now we don't need missionary. The internet can go anywhere. Can go to India anywhere. So I think that I will still push us to that we have to then be more evangelistic minded using the technological tools more, because if we still sit here and do all our evangelization physically, in the next few years the new generation that are coming will not even know about God, unfortunately, because the things they will believe are the things they see online, and that's the truth. People believe the things they see online more than the things you are telling them in the church, and that's the reality. So I think the church should have a lot of programs and intentionally make packages that will actually target the online community and then harvest more of them.
This has been such an interesting talk for me. I don't know about the youth leaders and the youth in the house, if they are gaining as much knowledge as I am, but I do hope that you are gaining some knowledge. We are going to be taking a very short break so that we can coordinate questions from the audience and questions online. So if you do have questions, you can go through to the mics and stand in line so that we will be taking those questions.
They did what they could according to the measure of grace given them.
The Lord Jesus heals me permanently. There is no better.
The gospel was preached, souls won, and churches were planted. An army of the Lord was unleashed. The baton was handed down to our fathers, and they labored to the best of their ability. It is time once again to kickstart a revival for the belting of the globe with the gospel. This time, the church in Africa must respond to the call. This is the time for Africa to prove it is now the center of gravity for world Christianity. And guess what? Which generation do you think must respond to this? Arise, O apostolic youth! This is your season. The time is here.
We have to get a way to detox, okay? Your mind is already getting feed, like you have a car that's already running, doesn't stop. It will break down. And social media, because of the addictive nature of social media, you can be, and it's not just addictive nature, it's also a system that manipulates you to stay longer. So somebody can be on WhatsApp and like 2 hours will fly and doesn't see that 2 hours has come to pass. And like they will be on social media playing with pictures and videos and it's 2 a.m. and they are not sleeping. And then sleep is one of the things that can make you healthy. Once you are not sleeping, you can be dying early. So all boil down to addiction, okay? The moment you allow yourself to be, and the thing is that these tools are made to make you addicted, to manipulate you to get you addicted. That's why you have to be able to also have a time for it. There's a time I say, the whole day I'm not going on social media for a whole day, okay? Get yourself like you are fasting to cleanse your body or something like that. Otherwise, with time, it will affect, there will be depression and all. It has been proven that. And some of them, I remember one lady said, they asked her we want to take your phone or want to take one of your kidneys. And he said, what? Take one of my kidneys and leave my phone with me. Because he cannot survive without his phone. So that's how the world is. How difficult that become. Addiction can be.
So some people are selling their kidneys instead of their phones to be taken away from them. Thank you so much for such a great answer. Please do stand behind the mics if you are ready to bring some questions to Elder Arthur so that we can take those questions. Do you, in the meantime, while they come to the mics, do you think that we are in danger of technology and social media taking our lives over completely, even as Christians?
Yeah, no. So it's yes or no. Okay. You can say that we are in danger because, for example, I remember this is a very controversial subject. I remember there was a time Ghanaians started talking about gay rights and gay rules and laws, and we're all talking about it on the media. Everybody said that we don't want gay and stuff like that. And then for me, who sits looking at the social media, looking at the things that are happening online, I was a bit scared. I was a bit scared because the gay community is using the online platform aggressively. They are creating their own content. Like most of the cartoons your kids are watching at home are not created by the government of Ghana. They are created and funded by a gay community. And they can insert those videos and stuff into that model gradually to get your children. The way you are angry, they will not be angry. Okay? So I'm saying that the church should have a mechanism to create the content because it's a battle we have to fight. We can't say that, okay, it has happened. We are just talking. We have to make practical contribution to how we can be part of the, because can you imagine that there was a time in the history of internet that 80% of web searches were the word porn or sex. You understand? Like people went online, 80% of them. For every 10 of them, 8 of them will type the word either porn or sex. But now it's not like that again. The number has come down to about 50%. What does it mean? It means that we are having more content that are more exciting to people than pornography. Can you imagine that? And how were they able to do it? So for people think, oh, people are naturally perverts and stuff like that, but we are not creative content to be able to. So I think that we have to work hard. If we don't do anything about it, we are at risk. Otherwise, we have to do something as a church if we are interested. Yeah. We are not at risk. We are at risk. They know what we do.
So it's both ways, risk and no risk.
Yeah, we are at risk. If we don't contribute.
Yes.
And if we contribute, we will not be at risk. So we have to work. All right?
Sure. Okay. Interesting stuff.
Oh, yes, are not coming to ask questions.
There is my brother standing over there and another one coming through to the mics.
Okay.
But we can take a question from my brother that side and then we continue.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Elder. Please, I want to know if someone is addicted to social media as of now, what are some of the ways from what you just taught us that the person will leave that place of addiction so that it will not have a negative influence upon the person? Thank you.
Okay, should I answer each of them? Okay. So addiction is it's a very complex discussion. Okay, I'm not a psychologist, so I'll try and answer it from social science point of view. And most of us, at some point in our lives, you are doing something that you don't have control over. I met one man that said that I can't stop eating chocolate. Whenever he sees chocolate, he wants to eat it. That his teeth, one of his gums were getting decayed, but he was still eating chocolate every day. Like he packed chocolate in a small fridge by his bed. And so they told him that he just remove the fridge from his room first. Okay, so a very simple thing you can do. For example, you can get somebody to do what so there's something we do, all right, that you can make somebody connect. We can do what they call. Do you know this software called Google Family Link? Google Family Link. Okay. So you can let somebody control. Like I can connect my phone to yours, and then at some time I can put your phone off or make all the apps on your phone inactive. You can't have anything of that. You can't go to Facebook. You can't go anywhere. And it's not you that is doing it. Somebody else can do it for you. Okay? So you can actually do that one by saying, okay, I want to be on social media 2 hours a day. And give me that window. What time do you want to be on social media? From 12 to 2. After 12 to 2, I'm not going to be on social media again. Okay. This time, I want to be off. I want to come on this time. So you can have that arrangement. That actually with time give you some power to say, okay, I'm not going to be online from this time. Okay. And I'll come online at this time. Because if you become addicted, it's a very big architect that is making you addicted. So you have to fight harder to make sure you are not really addicted. Otherwise, you can't fight it. Something like that. So you can look at that module. Let somebody control the things you do until you get angry and say that I don't want your control again, and then get it back or something like that. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Next question.
Thank you. I want to find out, based on your own conception, the issue about high school or students particularly using mobile phones, based on what you just discussed, the rate of addiction. What is your take on it? Allowing students using mobile, especially bodies, using mobile phones while in class. Meanwhile, with integration of AI, they have to learn all those things. But what is your take on this?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I received this question a lot. I did a training for Ghana Education Service for some teachers across the country. And this question came up aggressively. Young people are hiding phones in their... And for me, I'm not really a part of those who say that young people should be given devices. I'm not really in that school. I don't believe that every child should be given a device because they have to learn technology. Okay. But I think that it will not be a bad idea for us to then officially give children devices and have control over what they do with the devices. That's critical. Because if you don't give it to them, they will have their way to do. So if you go to a country like South Korea, young people have devices, but there are so many things they can't do with those devices. And they are able to learn a lot of things based on what the education wants them to learn. So because our systems are a bit difficult, people are not... We are having this traditional rule that once somebody is holding a device, he's watching pornography or he's doing something, he's not paying attention in class and something like that. Okay, but we can actually have devices for them and then configure the devices to have things that they should be watching and things they should not watch. And I will use the same example that there are tools you can use to do that. Allow them certain times to use the device and say them not to use it. Because if they want to use it, they can easily use the devices. Like if you go to UK, for example, children below age 16 cannot buy devices. They can't own devices in their own name. But Ghana, a child can save money and go to Circle and go and buy a phone. And the parents will not even be aware that they have a phone. So we don't have a very robust, secure system. That's why I think that I will not say that give it to them or don't give it to them. But you have to find a way to make sure that if you are giving it to them, what are they learning from it and what control do you have on the device they are using? All right? That's about it.
Thank you very much. Please, my question is, with the advancement of technology, what is the church doing to cope with the pace of what's happening now? Because looking at most of the AI tools, we can relate them to what's happening in the Bible. Like, for instance, the headsets that our friends are using. We can relate it to the days of the Pentecost, on the day of Pentecost. So what is the church doing? Do we always have to sideline ourselves, or we can do something to cope with the pace? And one thing is, now USA can boast of their B-2 bomber. So what can the church boast of? And can we only boast that we are, since we are saved, that's all, or there's something we can do more? Thank you.
The question has a lot of answers, but I don't know which one to answer. Okay, so let me just come back to where I'm comfortable with. I think that the church cannot, for example, say they're going to invest. We can have an agent, AI agent, for somebody must support them until everybody's able to do it. That's number one. Number two is that today, all the things that AIs are giving you are content fed them by those who are actually run the machine learning algorithms, right? And the data they are having is what they are feeding the AIs with. If we are not contributing to that data, what we want the world to hear, they won't hear. That's what I'm trying to say. That the church has a lot of data, they have messages and sermons that we can actually also feed into a particular AI module that can give answers to the questions that are being asked. For example, somebody said, I am depressed. I want to commit suicide. And then he went online and Googled it. I am depressed. I want to commit suicide. The algorithm then picked the keywords, depressed, suicide, and then just connect it to websites that people are talking about suicide and whatever. And it may happen that somebody that will be telling you, will be teaching you how to commit suicide. Is that an answer you're looking for? No. But the algorithm will direct you because that's the data available to the Google service. That if you want, you talk about suicide, it means you want somebody to teach you how to commit suicide. You get it? So if the church says, okay, we don't want people to commit suicide who are depressed, then what data are we putting in there? So when people are depressed, they won't come, because when I'm depressed, I won't come and tell her that I'm depressed. I will normally go to social media and go and type. The question is that the answer that will come, will it solve my problem or will make me worse? That's what I'm saying, that we have to, there's an invitation for the church to now have a creative way of contributing to the content on the internet. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? So that can be done. But when it comes to the technical stuff, I think there's a discussion that can be done maybe later. Okay, not now. Come.
Okay. Thank you very much for the education on technology as to the benefits and then the effect of it. When you were giving us your summary, you told us that the testing that we have been doing and then the pictures we take, when we delete, it doesn't go off completely. I want to know from your side, you never made mention of cost. How does it also affect our cost? Because we only touched on testing and then also taking of pictures and deleting. What about cost also?
Thank you. All right. So when it comes to any digital communication, if you are there's something we call the three-way handshake. Okay. All digital communication go through the exchange. Okay. So there's a router will take it and route the calls. I was saying that if even you make a call, you are making a request on the server. You are not actually making a request to his phone. Okay, I make a request to the server, and the server then looks for her number and connects to her. Is that okay? So in the same architecture, it actually goes to the same. That's why if you have a national security issue in this country, it will surprise you to know that even your telephone calls can be recorded. There are some countries they record it for 10 years before they dispose it of for national security purposes. So it's not something that is limited to the voice over IP, the VoIP people, or what we call the Facebook, Instagram, and so. Even your telephone calls you are making can be recorded. The billing can be done in exchange and all of that. So it includes all of that. One is a digital communication. It includes all of that. Just that it's very difficult to hack the GSM architecture than to hack the VoIP. Okay? Okay.
Okay, great questions. Okay, let's take the question from our right-hand side. Thank you.
Ok, merci beaucoup. Je vais aller en français. La question de la technologie est tellement importante que je me vois plus touché par ce thème et je voudrais poser la question suivante parce que la majorité des jeunes se retrouvent sur les réseaux sociaux et je voudrais demander comment la technologie peut être mise au service de l'évangile parce que à croire le présentateur, j'ai peur de prendre encore mon téléphone.
Thank you for the presentation. The social media is very important for the youth today. And how can we announce the gospel through the social media? This is my question. Because the host said that the way you do the presentation, you are scared to take our phone again. then how can we announce the gospel through the social media? Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I think that's a misconception sometimes. That once we talk about the weaknesses of technology, people begin to believe that we are scaring them from using it. No, we are not scaring from using it. You can use technology very intelligently, okay, and get a lot of results from it. Can you imagine that your phone is hacked or WhatsApp is hacked, and they pull all the pictures and video and dump it on social media, okay? But you don't have any naked picture there. Or all the things you have posted there were the gospel that you will be scared. They will make you sell the gospel more. Okay? So I'm not really trying to scare you. I'm just trying to highlight some of the things that you have to take note of. Whether you are aware or not, they are there. They are the realities. I don't want you to become a victim before, because I was here when somebody called me from other countries and say, but Mr. Emmanuel, somebody did A, B, C, and D for me, and it's the same thing we have been talking about. Okay? So whether I speak about it, the risk, or I don't speak about it, they are there. If you are not a victim today, you may be a victim tomorrow. So you have to find a way to adjust yourself a bit. Now, the second one is that go out there and look for creative ways of evangelizing to the world by the same gospel you are hearing, by putting the message in the format and the way that other people want to consume it. And that's what I'm talking to young people about. It is very important as you sit here, if you can draw the gospel, draw. If you can actually put it into a drama, do a 5-minute drama. If you can put it into comedy, do the comedy. The most important, the gospel has to go out there. People must spend time with the things you actually send out. That's what we are talking about. Okay? So do those ones.
That's such an excellent answer. We are going to take the last question from my sister, and then we will take the questions on social media. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Udwak Brown from Nigeria. So please, my question is, I traveled to Dubai once, and I realized that there are some sites you cannot open in that country. And I was amazed. So meaning, outside the network providers, the server, that's the Facebook and all those you've talked about, it means the government of a country
has a gateway,
can equally have access to all our phones.
There's a gateway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your government has a gateway that allow all the traffic to come through.
So they can equally stop.
Yeah, they can even switch the
decide.
internet. They can even switch the internet off.
It's okay. Thank you, sir.
No, they can do a lot of things. Okay. So I know people are advocating in Africa we should be able to ban a lot of things. We should allow people to go on, like Dubai, you can't go on any porn site when you are in their country and all of that, unless you use a VPN and all of that. People are advocating for those things here. I don't know. That's not a debate I want us to have. But thank you, sister, for the question. Okay.
This has been such an insightful conversation. There are so many questions, but we can't take all of them, unfortunately. But thank you so much, Elder Arthur. If we can just take the last one, please do address both the take on job security, AI, and robot invasion. And yeah, let's just take that one. What's your take on job security and AI or robot invasion? And then we will wrap up.
Okay, so I'm ending this one. I'm ending with this one. Let me be very frank with you. Let me be very frank with you. AI is not automation. Okay? Automations are programs that a human being give it to a machine that a human being himself can predict it, what the machine will do. So if I take a calculator is automated to do things that you have to use your mind to do. So you say 1 + 1 to a calculator, and you say equal to what happened? It's 2, right? And then you say 4 × 4 on a calculator, what will happen? Good. But if my sister here, I give her a big knock, what will happen? No, because she's not programmed. Her response, it depends on so many things, including the fact that she can say, I'm a Christian, I'm forgiving you, something like that, right? Or she will say, my father said if anybody beats me, I should beat the person back. The machine is now giving all this data, and is allowed to decide based on its own discretion what is good and what is bad. That's how different it is. Now, the AI architecture then even go to the extent of doing things, anything that you want to do can be done by the AI. Let me give you an example. There are AI doctors and AI lawyers that can read about 700 books in a day, 700 books, 700 legal tests in a day. How many can a lawyer read in a day? You can't. You can't compete with them. So we are getting to a point that when you want to even consult for advisory, and I go to AI lawyer, I'll get a better advice than a human lawyer, because AI lawyer can actually have a lot of reference and new laws and stuff that a human lawyer will not have. So the issue is this: as we move into the future, human beings may not be having the work they are supposed to have. That one is a fact. Okay. I want to always propose that let's have a system in place that will allow you to create a job yourself. Think about how you can create a job yourself that will can also employ the AI to do the work for you sometimes. So you own that market as well for yourself. And maybe another time we'll talk about those AI stuff. Okay.
Sure, this has been so great. Thank you so much, Elder Arthur. Africa, are you here? Africa, are you here? South Africa, hello. Burkina Faso, hello. Togo, hello. Nigeria, are you in the house? Ghana, are you in the house? Is everyone in the house happy? Thank you so much, guys, for being such a great audience and all the questions that we have received. We have come to the end of this session. Elder Arthur, it has been such a great pleasure. Thank you so much for giving us so much information. We hope to see you soon in our next conference. Thank you.
That for them again. Let's give it that for the blessing. What a blessing they have been. Praise the Lord. Yeah, so a quick reminder, anything you do online is no longer private. Hello? Do you remember that one? It is no longer private. Okay, the next reminder is that we are only their product, but we will use them for the gospel. Oh, I didn't hear. It looks like the amen is only from South Africa. I said they see us as their product, but we will use them for the gospel. Are you with me on that one?